Hey guys, it's Juan again from Physique Transformation Academy, and today I want to chat with you guys about some of the things that I've been doing this preparation in order to be my absolute best. As many of you know, my goal is to compete later in the year at the Legends Cup in Ontario, Canada, and then 1 week later, my goal is to compete at the 2023 Canadian National Pro Qualifier in the heavyweight class as a bodybuilder. Now, with this goal in mind, and with Robin Strand's help, which is a coach and mentor of mine, I'm going to talk to you guys about three main things that I've addressed this prep that have helped me dramatically make some amazing gains, lose body fat, feel great. And this is why I'm so lean at this point. People think that maybe it's some magical set of workouts. Nope. I train in my basement. It's actually my parents' basement. I train with just some old school, hardcore, heavy weight. I focus on hard contractions, hard, proper form. But at the end of the day, it's nothing magical. Your main deadlifts, your main pressing, and I'm limited with equipment, so it's not like I have some fancy machines. In terms of cardio, we're not doing a ton of cardio. We're doing 45 minutes of cardio a day for many, many months now. In terms of diet, I'm not starving myself. I can tell you right now, at 11 weeks out, and for you guys to see how lean I am, I'm eating about 2,600 calories on off training days, 3,100 calories on training days, and I have 2 refeeds a week of 37 to 3,800 calories, and I'm weighing roughly, I wake up roughly in the 214 to 217 range every morning, and I've been maintaining that weight for a little while, just recompositioning my physique. Now, with all that said, guys, the three main things that I feel, some of the three things that I feel most people don't pay attention to, but are crucial in order for you to look your absolute best, are going to be gut health, stress, and blood sugar. Now let's start with gut health. A lot of people and a lot of bodybuilders suffer from poor gut health. Reason being, I noticed this past off season as I was reaching the 240 and 250 mark, the amount of food we must eat as bodybuilders in order to put on mass amounts of muscle is massive. And with that, it can lead to a lot of stress on your gut and inflammation. Even though it's healthy food, it's still an overload. Not to mention toxins we get from foods and pesticides, our environment. On top of lots of foods are loaded with things like sucralose, aspartame, and other sweeteners. Those are seemingly not harmful. And I can tell you right now, they can be harmful. Now, what did we do in terms of gut health? Number one, I got a food sensitivity test done, and I work closely with naturopath Tina Rogers. She's been helping me out. Now, in this food sensitivity test, it tells me what foods my gut is sensitive to. Seemingly healthy foods. For example, I am sensitive to things like spinach. I am sensitive to things like tomatoes. I used to be sensitive to things like chicken and salmon, for example. So these are foods that are seemingly healthy. But if I have them, my gut gets inflamed and my gut health suffers. Now, what does this lead to? To poor insulin resistance. It leads to bad bowel movements. It leads to water retention. So through that testing, I now avoid the foods that bother me. Also, even though I may not have a major sensitivity, and I'll post my latest test on here, I may not have a major sensitivity. I do have some minor ones, but it's still better to avoid those foods. I never have cheat meals, ever. So through this preparation, we're having refeed days, but I do not have cheat meals, and I haven't had a cheat meal since 18 weeks out. And we also found out I have candida, which is a bacterial overgrowth in my gut. Now with that, we are using a supplement protocol, which is over here, the Para-2, the Proteoxime, and the GI Revive. That helps me with my gut health to get rid of that candida, which the goal is to get rid of over the next few weeks so I can have a proper off season. But right now, it's not bothering me whatsoever. I have this cream of rice here, the rice cereal, as I was talking about gut health. Since I eliminated things like gluten from my diet and a lot of other foods, even though I'm not sensitive to gluten, I do think it still can be inflammatory if you have too much of it. We're doing a lot of rice in my diet right now. So main carb sources are potatoes, sweet potatoes, rice, oats. Now, let's talk about stress. Stress is huge because we put on muscle when we're resting. We have two main states of our central nervous system, the sympathetic nervous system and the parasympathetic nervous system. Sympathetic is our fight or flight. Essentially, when we're being chased by a tiger, or since we're not being chased by tigers anymore, when we're stressed out by our kids, when my kids are waking me up in the middle of the night because they want their mommy, when you're stuck in traffic, when you have lots of work. All these stressors can compound in your day. What does this lead to? This constant state of being in the sympathetic nervous system. And in that state, your body releases cortisol, your blood sugar gets higher, and you are going to now not be in a place where you can properly recover from your workouts. It'll affect your sleep. It'll affect your muscle growth. So with things like this product by Revive, which is Calm Plus, ashwagandha, using things like GABA, for example, using things like magnesium, I only want to be in that sympathetic state when I'm training, and not even the entire time when I'm training. I want to be in it right before a set. I want to use breathing techniques, which is something I'm a big fan of. Calm myself down, and then I jack my nervous system up in order to be able to train very intensely during the set. And as soon as the set is done, I try to calm down and go back to that parasympathetic nervous system. Now, once the workout is done, I do, for example, a 5 to 10 minute meditation. I do breathing exercises. I take all these supplements, and I try to stay as calm as possible throughout the day. Now, I'm not perfect at it. I have 3 little boys that I'm with all day. I have my clients, I have my business, I have a home. So all these things can be really challenging. But I try my best in order to stay in that parasympathetic nervous system. Now, ultimately, the last piece of the puzzle, blood sugar. We've been monitoring blood sugar very closely. I take 6 blood sugar measurements a day. First thing in the morning, fasted, and then about 20 minutes before each meal, I have 6 meals a day. Now, with those blood sugar measurements, what's the goal? The goal is to make sure that before I eat a meal, I'm at a proper blood sugar in order to maximize the absorption of carbohydrates and those nutrients. If my blood sugar is high, we utilize things like Lantus or Humalog. What is this? Insulin. I'm not going to give you guys a protocol. Insulin can be very dangerous if you don't use it properly. But when used properly with the help of a proper coach or somebody knowledgeable, it can be something very useful. And I find that this has helped me dramatically recomposition my body in order to lose body fat and gain muscle. Here's the blood sugar monitor. They're fairly inexpensive. The strips can be expensive, but there's ways where you can get them cheaper. And with that constantly monitoring, I know that a lot of people see bodybuilding as this this sport where it's so encompassing, like you can't do anything on a whim. And to be honest, if you want to be a good bodybuilder, you can't. But this constant monitoring of blood sugar and addressing things like if my blood sugar is high, utilizing some of these compounds, for example, like the Glyco HD by HD Muscle, like the Lantus, like the Humalog, paying attention to my gut health between supplements, proper food, like gluten-free products like this one by Grindstone Blends, and addressing my stress with things like ashwagandha, the Revive Calm Plus, breathing techniques, meditation, yoga. All these things have helped me be my absolute best so far. So in 11 weeks, I want to show you guys how awesome my physique is going to look. And with the help of Robin Strand, my family, my beautiful wife, and of course, Jehovah God, I want to show you guys that anything is possible and you can do anything you set your mind to. Now, guys, if you need help with any of these protocols, please feel free to message me. I have my coaching program available. I'm taking on one more motivated individual to help them be their absolute best. And if you message me today, I'll send you over the application form, and then we can start working together as soon as possible in order for you to maximize your potential.